The IWG was founded in 1994 at a conference in Brighton on women in sport, an international conference. So it's been running now for nearly 30 years, and it's the largest global network of organisations committed to improving gender imbalance in sport. Our vision is to ensure that sport and physical activity is a world where all girls can thrive and where girls have the same amazing opportunities through sport that boys and men have historically always had.
What's really important for IWG is that we have a global perspective, that we're not sat in one part of the world looking at gender equality in sport through a single lens. So every 4 years the secretariat moves around the globe. From 2022 to 2026 the secretariat is in the United Kingdom.
It's been in almost every continent and in many different countries, and this is actually the first time it's come back to the UK since it was founded. We inherited it from New Zealand and they inherited it from Botswana before that. So we're really thrilled to have back in the UK now with so much going on in women in sport in this country.
And our role within the secretariat is to deliver on the strategy of IWG. And the strategy is very much driven by the needs of the network. So really listening to what the network require in terms of resources, in terms of connections, in terms of particular themes. You know, what are the emerging issues that are really important? What are the biggest barriers that we're trying to overcome? Really understanding that from a country and continent perspective. We have 3 really simple priorities. The first one is connections. We are a global network and we want to make sure that anybody who wants to be able to be part of that network, be able to access knowledge, make connections, that we make that as simple as possible for them to do so.
What we want to be able to do is to make sure that that network have an ongoing way that they can work with each other, learn from each other, not just at that conference once every 4 years, but on an ongoing basis, so that we can begin to accelerate the pace of change for gender equality in sport.
Our second one is insight. We are determined to play our part in ensuring that research and insight drives the approach to tackling gender equality across the globe. There is so much brilliant knowledge and best practice that exists in pockets around the globe. Our job is to bring that together and make it really easy for people to access it.
So the insights, largely through our Insight Hub, but also being facilitated by those networks and connections, is a real way for people to learn and to be able to share the best practice, to be able to share research, and to be able to work out what it is that they might do to help them to develop strategies for their own country or their own organisation in terms of gender equality.
And then finally, advocacy. We want to ensure that we are advocating for gender equality through demonstrating the value and impact to those organisations who really embrace gender equality and think about it from a systemic approach, not thinking simply about how do we better equip women to be able to find their way around the system, but how do we make sure the sports system in countries all around the globe really are thinking about how they can be engaging and welcoming and creating opportunities for women and girls to thrive.
We're not creating things, we're actually helping to share through amplifying the work that's happening across the world in a number of organisations and right the way across the continents, and help people to be able to use that to better argue for gender equality, to look for investments from their governments, from their organisations, to be able to have the right sort of arguments to be able to look at how women's sport is positioned, for example, in scheduling, in resourcing. We work very much with a lot of global organisations, working closely with UNESCO, for example, across Europe with the Council of Europe, with the IOC and other international sports federations to be able to support that advocacy.
So one of the great opportunities when you host IWG is not just to host the secretariat, but also to host the international conference. What will now be the 9th global conference on women's sport will be held in Birmingham in the United Kingdom in July 2026. And it's a real unique opportunity to bring individuals and organisations together from all across the globe, where the one factor that unites us is that determination to tackle the inequalities, and particularly the gender inequalities in sport. So it's a real honour to be able to host that event, and I look forward to welcoming delegates from all around the globe, because I know we're going to have some of the most knowledgeable, inspiring, committed, engaged speakers and delegates, and it's a huge opportunity to get to know others who are working in the same space around the world, but also to learn from what's gone before.